Hello, universe. Today I'm going to walk you through how to recreate this 3D spinning, I believe it's called an octahedron. I'm going to call it a diamond, and I know that's probably wrong for my geometry nerds out there, but that's what we're doing today. And this is a 3D shape inside DaVinci Resolve, and we've added some really simple nodes and effects to this to make it pretty. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. What you're going to want to do is go up to your effects tab and drag and drop in a fusion composition. And you can make your fusion composition as long as you'd like. I'm going to make mine, what was that, 4 seconds long? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, I'm going to move pretty quickly through this. And what I'm doing right now is I'm bringing a background node, connecting it to my media out, and bringing the transparency down. If you do have more questions as we go along, be sure to leave a comment, or a better thing to do would be to join the Discord in the description. I'm pretty active over there, and I'm pretty good about getting back to people who have questions about Fusion. So because we're going to be using the 3D shape system in DaVinci Resolve, we need 3D nodes, and we need to set up our 3D node system. So that's what we're going to do first. I'm going to go ahead and add in a merge 3D node, a renderer 3D node that's connected. The output of my merge 3D is connected to the renderer 3D node. And then on the renderer 3D node, I'm going to toggle on the hardware renderer. And I'm going to connect it to our background out. So now we've got our 3D stuff merged on top. Now, because this diamond shape that we're recreating doesn't live natively within DaVinci Resolve, we got to get a little creative. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to bring in a shape 3D node. Now, if I hit 2 to swap my preview to the shape 3D node, right, by default, we've got a plane. And if I go to this drop-down menu, we don't have a diamond or our octahedron shape in here. But what we do have is a cone. And you might be thinking, well, a cone? What do you mean by cone? Well, there's something sneaky that we can do with the cone here that we can convert to a diamond. I'm going to change my preview option in this top right corner here from solid to light so that we get some shading here. And you can see that it's got some faces to the shape of this image. So what we can do is we can bring down the subdivisions from 20 to 4. And what that's going to do is give us a pyramid. And from here, I think you can see where this is going to go. So from a little bit of testing and playing around, the other settings that I found that ended up working for me was a radius of 0.35 and a height of 0.5. Oops. 0.5. So 0.35 and 0.5. And then I also brought it up a little bit because you can see it sitting below our center plane. I think it was 0.25, and that brings us, yeah, right in line in the middle here. Okay, so this is the first half, and now what we can do is you could take this shape node and paste it and flip it, but what I ended up doing is I copied our shape node, and then I hit Control-Shift-V to create an instance. Now, if you're newer to instances, what this does, and you'll notice we've got some green borders around our properties, this creates an exact duplicate of our shape. So you can see I'm still previewing this shape node over here on the left, but if I select this one over here on the right and I mess with some of the properties, it changes both. So it links the two nodes, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take output to output, merge them on top here, and then I'm going to insert a transform 3D node underneath the instance here. And now I'm going to swap my preview to the merge 3D node where these two are connected. And I'm going to rotate, which one is it? The Z direction? Yeah, I'm going to rotate the Z for our transform 3D node minus 180 degrees. And now we've got our shape right here. Perfect. So I'm going to take this merge 3D node and connect it to this one. I guess you don't need two merge 3D nodes. I don't know. In my head, it made more sense. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start to build out the look of our effect. And from here, like, you could really do whatever you wanted to make it look how you want. This is the workflow that I went through to get the final visual that we ended up with. I'm going to split my preview window up top here into two. So I'm going to hit this little icon in the top right corner. And then I'm going to grab that split, bring it over here. And I'm going to put the output on this left split. That's just how I like to do it. So I tapped 1 on my media out node down here, and that puts us on this preview over here. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to add a camera. The 3D camera is essentially what gives us our perspective with our shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this back a little bit. And you can really go about doing this any way that you want. But I'm gonna bring this back just a little bit. And then I think what I ended up doing was after this merge 3D node, this one over the left here, I'm sorry I'm going a little all over the place. I'm going to add another transform 3D node. And this way, what we can do is we can bring down the scale of our combined shape. And then later on, what we'll also be able to do with this 3D node is we'll be able to rotate it in place. Okay, so now we've got our camera set up. We've got this other transform node set up, and now we need to set up our lighting. So you're going to want to make sure that on your renderer 3D node that you have lighting toggled on. And then we're going to set up a 3-point light system, and we're going to use point lights. So I'm going to add a point light. And if you're newer to doing things in 3D space, essentially when you begin to render stuff out, most objects require some source of light if you have the lighting option checked on, because that's how we get the shading on the edges. Otherwise, if we look on the left here, it's gonna look really flat. So I'm gonna add in our first point light, and we're gonna connect it to our main Merge 3D node over here. And from here, this side of things normally just comes down to playing around with settings and feeling out what you feel looks best and works best for you. So there's not really a right answer here. I do recommend turning on the decay, linear or quadratic. It's just going to help kind of blend out your light. I'm going to go quadratic because why not? And then I'm going to increase the intensity to maybe I'll do a 4 and then bring it back a smidgen. So something like that, right? And then I'm going to actually drag this one up just a little bit. So if I were to go to my transform settings, if you wanted to copy these, it's at a Y height of around 0.28 and a Z position of around 2.1. So that's our first light. Now we're going to add in a second light. So I'm going to copy our first one, paste it in here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a light below this face here and above this face here. So that way we can kind of fill in the dark areas down here. DaVinci is really cool because it does do some great stuff in the 3D space, but it unfortunately isn't fantastic at it. And all that means is that you can do some really basic things in 3D, but when it comes time to do some really more advanced realistic looks, it's not always the best. So that looks decently good to me. So the second light, it looks like it's at an X position of around 1.84, a Y position of around -2, and a Z position of around 1.45. Again, I'm just going to copy and paste this light. Oops. Now we have our third light, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, except I'm going to bring it up and above that left face, something like that. And again, you feel out whatever you think works best. Play around with some stuff. This third light looks like it's at a position of -3 in the X, 0.93 in the Y, and the Z is 1.45 still. Now from here, actually, one thing I forgot to do is I'm going to go over to our shape tab, and I'm going to go over to the diffuse color. And I'm going to change it to be whatever color that you wanted your base color to be. So I think in the example, I made it a yellow. And the preciseness of the color isn't going to matter too much because we're going to add some glows later that kind of blend and smooth things out. So I'm going to pick a yellow. If you are more curious about doing things with materials, DaVinci does have a whole material replace system. That's pretty cool. The final thing that we're going to do for this look is we're going to add a border on the outside, and that's going to help kind of create this aura, if you will, around our shape. And I have a macro set up for a border node in here. I guess what I'll do is I'll walk you through how you can set this up yourself real quick. You know what? I really need to put this macro on like my Ko-Fi page so people can just download it. But if you wanted to set this up yourself, what you're going to want to do is add in an erode dilate node. And we're going to end up connecting it after the rendering. So after this merge node down here. And if I take the output for this merge node and connect it to our erode dilate node, and I swap my preview on the second window to that. And now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to recollapse these. If I change the drop down to circle on our erode dilate and I expand this, you can see we like increase the size of our shape. So if I wanted to create a border, what I can do is I can feed this erode dilate into a background node and into the masking option of the background node. If I toggle over here and increase the amount of our erode dilate, what I can now do is merge this back, go output to output. And now I'm previewing this new merge node. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the operator of that merge node to under. And now we've got a really simple border to it. And what I would recommend doing for the border color is changing it to something fairly close, either lighter or darker to the base color of whatever your image is. And the last two things we're going to do is we're going to add a glow node here. Standard glow node. I'm going to swap my preview to the media out node, standard glow node, and then a soft glow node. So it's a 2 glow little setup here. We've got a normal glow and then a soft glow. And so with the normal glow, I'm just going to bring down the blend a little bit. So it's at 0.05. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the soft glow. And I'm going to change on the soft glow. I'm going to maybe bring down the gain and decrease the glow size. And then again, from here, it's just a lot of like fine tuning. So maybe I want to bring back the main glow. Maybe you need to go back and change some of the lighting systems, whatever you want to do. But now if I rotate, if I go back to that transform 3D node and I go to that Y rotation, it's going to be a bit laggy because I'm recording right now, but this is how you can create some cool looking 3D shapes in DaVinci. This is actually the very first video on this new second account, and I hope to post some more quicker tutorials like this that don't really quite fit on the main channel. So if you do enjoy, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.